Hey there, I'm Saul. I run a business called Undercurrent. I'm going to try and keep this short, which I find really difficult. I also want to say I'm a bit nervous doing this. And I've often been very nervous doing things that feel a little bit uncomfortable and a bit different because when I was young, I felt very different. I'm neurodivergent, so I'm diagnosed with dyslexia. So, for example, when we started reading at school, when the reading got more difficult, I really fell behind and I was kind of bottom of the class. And these days now, I also know that I've got ADHD, and that meant things like I couldn't really sit still and I really struggled to concentrate. Basically, I didn't feel great at school because I always felt my differences, the fact that I didn't fit in with the kids that seemed to just find everything so much easier, meant I just felt a bit rubbish about myself. I now run a business called Undercurrent. It's pretty cool, I think. And the reason I think it's cool is this. I set it up because there's loads of people like me, but also like you. And different thinkers, right? They think differently to the mainstream, but there's now loads of evidence that shows those people are the very people that businesses need in order to be successful. The way people hire, the way that's been done, hasn't changed for a really long time. But many businesses are now changing that way. What's happening now is a kind of revolution in the way businesses want to look for, work with talented people. And so if you've ever been intimidated, like I was, businesses are now trying to find better ways so that the people like us, people like me, people like you, feel more comfortable. Many famous entrepreneurs, people who've done really amazing things, very often they are neurodivergent, right? They think differently to the mainstream. So, for example, Richard Branson, he's been very successful. And he hasn't been successful despite the fact that he's different. He's been successful because he sees the world differently, because of his difference. This is really important. I wish I'd known this when I was younger. When I was at school, I felt like my differences were a problem. I felt insecure about them. I felt like it was probably going to always feel like that. And I just want to say, I didn't fit in at school. I basically wasn't really at school very much from about the age of 14, and I felt really rubbish inside. But I don't feel like that now. It doesn't mean I don't have difficult days, and it doesn't mean that my neurodivergence has gone away. Your confidence will grow as you start to recognize not just the things you struggle with, but also the things you're really good at. You'll start to see them in a different light. It does take some work, and it takes a very purposeful, and by purposeful I mean you need to very much intentionally take time to recognize your strengths and nurture them. And I want to tell you that if things feel tough at the moment, I promise you they really do get easier, even if you just want to share your experience. Please feel free to reach out to us. Thanks for listening.